pep talk, every stolen kiss, every late night walk, every secret wish, every second chance, every time we dance underneath the light of the street lamp. Count to 10, and we'll be where we wanna. When you're next to me, I can't pretend. You've got me feeling like you're where I wanna be. Please don't let me go, I need you right here by my side. So won't you run away with me tonight? You could be the one that I've been wanting all my life. 'Cause when you're looking at me with those eyes, I don't wanna leave, I need you, we could be the light. So won't you run away with me tonight? I could be the one that you've been wanting all your life. 'Cause I know that I'm ready to go down to the brighter side. La la la, la 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 la. La la la, la 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 la. La la la, la 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 la. La la la, down to the brighter side. La la la, la 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 la. La la la, la 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 la. La la la, la 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 la. La la la, down to the brighter side. All at once, you take it all so well, and I'm mesmerized. I know it's hard, but you can rest your mind. It'll be alright. I don't wanna leave, I need you, we could be the light. So won't you run away with me tonight? I could be the one that you've been wanting all your life. 'Cause I know that I'm ready to go down to the brighter side. La la la, la 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 la. La la la, la 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 la.
Hello, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I see Cinder, Shy, and Vanillix. How's it going today, guys? Hope you're doing well. Hope you guys have been having a good Tuesday so far. I'm excited to be streaming, guys. I'm excited. Let's see if we can get PIPLUP today. Today's been a long day for me. It's been productive in various ways. Yo! I guess, Cinder, your sponsorship, your membership renewed. Thank you for that. 42 months. Dang. I appreciate it, Cinder. It means a lot. I appreciate having you as a sponsor. Or as a member. I really do need to update the text on that. It still says sponsor and it throws me off. But thank you, Cinder. Seriously, thank you as always. But yeah, today has been a very long day for me. I had a meeting for work at 6:30 this morning. So that's how my day started. Which, you know, it's like at the end of the day, it's not too big of a deal. It's not like it was a problem. It was just I'm tired. I didn't remember I had a 6:30 meeting until like I was already contemplating like I can stay up a little bit longer. That'll be a little late, and then I realized, oh wait, I'm already like an hour later than I should be up. And that was last night, so a goof on my part, a miscalculation, I guess, but all that's good now. Made it through those meetings. And sadly, it wasn't like an early meeting where like I could like do that and then like maybe snooze for an hour after it to make up. Nah, I had that meeting and then my usual 7:30 meeting, and that ran up until like 9 o'clock or something. So like I already have been at work. Like almost 3 hours by the standard, like, starting work time. No one online has good Wi-Fi. Yeah, Switch Online really kind of, like, shows that. Because, unfortunately for people who use Switch Online, since Nintendo does peer-to-peer, you see when people have the bad internet connection. Bonus counters on Poke Farm today, going crazy with egg hatching, hoping for a melanistic, of course. Best of luck, Cinder. Best of luck. Game said go, but you haven't even finished your intro animation. Rip. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and make a poll today. So let's get a poll going. Yeah, so I took some of the time I had. I made a little bit of progress on my desk and on my just internet stuff in general. I think I fixed. So I have a Chromecast hooked up to that TV, so I can, like, you know, cast stuff to it. And it's always had issues. I've mentioned before that, like, this is one side of the house. This is an exterior wall. And on the other end of the house is my router and stuff. I moved it about halfway down the hallway, so hopefully that covers everything now. There's a closet that I literally just, like, turned into a network closet today. I got all that stuff moved over, and the internet's working, fortunately. Part of why I've been dragging my feet on it was I always thought about it, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't do it on a stream day. But since I had a little bit of extra time today, I got all that sorted out. Got all that sorted out, worked a bit more on the desk as far as some of the under-desk wiring. Down here, the one cable I think I pointed out before is still there, but that one's got a lot of rework to do. I've rearranged my switches. I think they're actually in a much more aesthetically pleasing spot. And it's in a way I could add more, which is something I should not tempt myself with the idea of. But if I did, I would have to add more standard docks because it looks nice and it could look all uniform and stuff. That's a problem for hopefully never happening. I don't want to end up buying more switches. But yeah, making progress on the desk. I think, you know, in general, yeah, it's slowly getting more organized. I don't know, I don't like have a deadline for myself or anything, but I do kind of feel like I want to have it done, like, fully, semi-soon, you know? I feel like there should be some kind of, like, desire to get everything organized and fixed up soon-ish. There's, like, one more power strip I need to mount so I can get some more power cables. The big thing now is I need to order some cables. I need some USB extensions. I need some HDMI extenders. You know, like things that it's like I want to know what I need before I order it, but I also don't know what I'm gonna need until I order some of it. So just one of those things I have to get around to and get sorted out. You know, like yesterday we were talking about my mouse situation, and as always we talk about this capture card situation. I need to fix this cap card. I don't know what I need to do to fix it, but I need to figure out what the heck I need to do to fix it. Because this is always frustrating. There we go. Yep. Like, I just had to unplug it and replug it in, which, like, isn't too big of a deal if it wasn't, like, cutting off the stream visuals, you know? How come internet was amazing the whole match, but as soon as he's on the last stock, it goes to 1 FPS? That's a little bit suspect. Yeah, I don't know the exact details of how that works, but I feel like I feel like Switch Online stuff is pretty susceptible to like lag switches with the way they do peer-to-peer. So I don't know. It is suspect. Purposely messing his Wi-Fi to try to make you lose. I mean, that used to be a big thing in online gaming. Back in like the COD 4 days and stuff, lag switches were like totally a thing. You know, where people would have like devices that basically like would slow their internet down to the slowest you could go before the game like gave up on trying to connect to you. And the systems weren't advanced enough to kind of pick up on that, and it relied on everyone having a good internet connection so you could do that and like lag out the game. And most of the time they lagged it out when they were host, which meant that they got like a massive advantage because basically everyone else was rubber banding and they were the only ones who saw the quote-unquote like true system, or like the true positions. One of those frustrating things. Yeah, also I had a print running last night on the printer, and it's always a little bit. I knew it was risky. I was actually kind of running it to see like almost experimentally how it worked. Unfortunately, it was like a 16-hour print, and it was like hour 15 when it did the experimental thing, and it failed. That was a little bit sad, but you know, it happens. That's part of 3D printing. I've been printing a new like wire chain. Like a new wire cage, wire guide kind of thingy. That's something that I've wanted. I have one kind of on there, but it's not great, so I've been printing a new one. I gotta study for math midterms. I don't know how, but you do. Best of luck, Shy. You've got this. You've got this. Good luck in your midterms, man. Yeah, Rose Girl, 10 days till you get these games. BDSP hype, Rose Girl. It's fantastic. They're so much fun. They're so much fun. I've been playing a ton of them. Granted, I still haven't gotten my second completion in Pearl yet, so I'm working on that. So I'm thinking today we're gonna pass 2048 today, guys, which will be like the point of having hit odds for literally everything. If you count the Starlies and the Piplups, we will pass odds today. If we don't find anything, we will go over odds for some amount of a shiny encounter today. It's gonna be like 2047, and we'll find a Starly. Hey, Sabrina. What do you think happens with those? What's the theory behind that? How would people click it? Why would people try to click it? Why would people type it into their bar at the top? So confused by that. It just, I don't know, that doesn't make sense to me. Also, I should probably... There we go. There we go. Sorry, I just, like, shoulder checked the mic. Started a fighting type hardcore Nuzlocke yesterday on Platinum. How's that going? Is it still going? I guess is kind of the first question, but I hope it's going well. How you doing today, by the way? Hope you're doing well. Hope you've been having a good Tuesday. Took 3 resets to get good get good trees for Heracross. Ah, caught it in game froze. No! Oh, that's awful. The curse of those Gen 4 just like lockups. Besides losing all that it was going well at Game Freak's reset run because you didn't want to delete your save data. I feel you, man. Rip, dude. That sucks. Yeah, I don't know why the Gen 4 games had such issues with freezing. Like, that's like a notorious issue with those games. I have no clue why those games specifically would have so many problems with it. Kind of in the same way, I'm curious why these games have so many issues with just like unexpected errors closing software. Granted, I feel like a lot of shiny hunters have seen it more than most just because we're the ones constantly relaunching the games. But on the physical copy I have, on the digital copy I have, on both Switches, I've had issues just like going into the underground or something, and as soon as it tries to connect to internet, it goes, oh well, and just dies. Maybe it's just a Sinnoh problem. Like, Sinnoh games just can't be stable. The Sinnoh curse, exactly, yeah. It's all Rotom. It's all Rotom, right? Messing with the hardware, always knew Ghost of Kahana electrical items was bad news. Exactly, yeah. Most games, we've been able to calm him down recently, right? Like, most games have him involved in some way, right? Like, you give him Rotom decks or something, but now with BDSP, he's just back to haunting things, right?
Every stolen kiss, every late night walk, every secret wish, every second chance, every time we dance underneath the light, street lamp.
Hey, what's going on, John? Welcome to the stream. How you doing today, man? The encounter count, though, yeah, 2020. It feels so high, but that also feels so low. Like, just knowing the pace of this hunt, it's like, wow, we've put in a lot of time. But then looking at it, it's like, this is what we'd hit in, like, 3 days of hunting and use some wormholes, you know? It's crazy. Like, we can do between, like, 4 and 8 encounters in a... Excuse me. Yeah, between like 4 to 8 encounters in USUM for every single encounter with PIPLUP here. It's crazy. And with that, the PIPLUP hunt moves into the future. It's now 2022. Which isn't that far away. Yeah, we are coming up on hitting like full odds for seeing something, anything. We've had such bad luck with this, and I feel bad. I really do feel bad for a lot of the people who are out there shiny hunting these starters who haven't had a chance to start the game yet. Can't believe you've done this hunt with just one system. How's it going, Colin? Yeah, seriously, the people out there doing single hunts for this, like, the people out there doing single hunts for this and have like 3,000 plus encounters scare me a little bit, honestly. Granted, I've definitely slowed down in the past few weeks. Like the past like week and a half, 2 weeks, I've definitely slowed down a lot on this because, you know, that first week we kind of went at it pretty hard. As far as like, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Wednesday, you know, at midnight, hitting it pretty hard encounter-wise. The second week, you know, kind of doing it pretty decently, and then like after that was this past week, and that one I took a little bit of the break, you know. So I guess I could have been doing more, right? I've been slacking, I guess. No, but it's crazy. It's crazy how long this hunt's taking, and like knowing people who, yeah, are doing single hunts or, excuse me, who are over odds, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Props to everyone who's doing this hunt still, especially those who, you know, single switch, haven't played through the game yet, because like, it's like people, like, the thing is, it's like people are just sitting here doing these hunts for PIPLUP and Turtwig and Chimchar, waiting to start their shiny only playthroughs and stuff. And it's like, I have most of the national decks at this point, right? Like, I've been doing stuff off stream that's just not shiny hunting. So it's like, it's crazy. Taking a break from shinies to play some Halo. Nice, nice. Today was the day they added a lot of the playlists back in, right? I know they added Slayer earlier this week. I believe they added like SWAT and other various like common playlists that I was really kind of surprised weren't in the game when I initially tried it. If they added SWAT back in, and I'm interested now. I'm interested now slightly. We'll see though. We'll see. I don't know, because I tried with some friends the very first day it came out, and I honestly wasn't really enjoying it. So hopefully, having the game mode I loved the most in Reach and 4 back in it makes it a bit more fun for me. And tonight I gotta run a ton of 3D prints. I mentioned earlier, I'm printing out a new cable chain. Come back here. Yeah, I'm printing out a new cable chain, which basically is like these little, as it says, just like interlinking stuff. Yeah, I've been printing these out, and basically they're like wire guides, and they link together and just form a giant chain. I printed out 4 of them. 5 if you count like a special end piece, and I gotta print out like 16 more. So wasn't gonna do that midstream just because, you know, then it'd be like in the background and stuff, and until I replace the board on it, I can't print. Until I replace like the main board with better motor controllers, I can't really print live. Or the mic's gonna pick it up, and like there's a few things I want to do to it anyway, so modifications to the printer probably incoming in late winter or something. They added SWAT. We've been crushing it in ranked for challenges. Nice. Honestly, thanks to Reach SWAT, anything with a BR and no radar, you crush a noise. Dude, Reach SWAT was so good. I put so many hours into that, both in original Reach and then in Master Chief Collection. Reach SWAT was my jam for sure. Hey, Twist, what's going on? I have to travel all the way to Virginia tomorrow. Have fun with that. hope your day's been going well, Twist. Want to come with? I have work. Yeah, I've got work until the 22nd. I think that's yeah, the 22nd is my first day off until near the end of the year. So do you. Is your work in Virginia? It's not stopping you. Alright. More power to ya. Yeah, you're leaving once you're done with work. I see. Yeah, work tomorrow should hopefully be pretty relaxed for me, I hope. It's like it's the end of our sprint, so like all of our work kind of had to be done like today. So it could be reviewed tonight / tomorrow morning to be officially done. And got all that done. I feel like I have to I'm gonna make up for a little bit of sleep I didn't get last night because of my 6:30 a.m. meeting today, which was awful. Was awful from the perspective of me wanting to sleep. I decided to pressure going nice. Your angelfish laid eggs in a spot you can put a net around them so they don't get eaten. Nice. It's good that it's in a spot that's good, like convenient like that. See, I always feel like whenever I hear about aquarium stuff, I just like learn more and more how like hardcore like the waters are. It's like just like the idea of keeping fish and the fact that it's like, yeah, putting them in a tank just kind of makes them all like fight each other constantly, basically. It's like they live in peace until they're kids, and then like the kids are just food, and like it's like that'd be a horrible life to have to live as like a young fish in an aquarium. Every time they've had eggs before they eat them. Yeah, it's so strange. Like that there's no like, because it's not even like it's like other fish eat them, right? Like it's like fish A lays eggs that are like fish A and fish B's eggs. Fish A and fish B are the ones who eat the eggs. It's like, how do you survive? How do you like have offspring if you just like treat them as a snack? But I think a lot of it just has to do with like, I think like in the wild they lay the eggs and they go off and they like are gone. So they never see them again. Yeah. So I think that's part of it. Like in reality it's just like you're keeping them so close to them, and like the way a fish brain works is kind of like if it fits in my mouth, I eat it. I've thought about getting an aquarium or something at some point, but then I got a cat, and I don't think mixing of those two will go well. Somehow my cat and my like house plants are already like a poor mix. Because what happens with the cat is she constantly screams for attention and food, and I'm trying to train her that screaming for that doesn't get her that. It's failing. In part because all it does is teach her that more drastic measures are required to get my attention, and she really wants my attention. So, or she wants food, and what she'll do is she'll go like, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, and I'm like, you just ate. Yeah, you know, just ignore her or do things like, I'm so hungry, I'm gonna eat your plants. And like, we'll just hop up on like a little end table I have that has like a Christmas cactus on it. That like, almost died at one point, and I was very proud that I brought it back and it grew like all healthy and stuff. Started blooming last year around this time when they bloom. This year it didn't bloom at all because it had no healthy ends to the leaves. They were all munched on. Because what she'll do is she'll hop up on the little table that has that on it, look at me, and then start eating it. I was like, why? What are you... There's no nutritional value in this for you. You have cat grass. Cats try to sit on top of the tanks but you yell at them? Aw. You've decided you want to complete the national dex before you shiny hunt. So you're hungry, so people will give you money for food and then buy you food. Hey guys, I am a little hungry. Let's ignore the stuff in my fridge. Donation goal. Nah. Donation goal is still like to cover like the cost of the Switch, like of that Switch. Or of that Switch, whichever one, the newer Switch, is the costs are covering that. That's what donation goal is going towards. As well as like any remainders from this donation goal, as well as future donation goal stuff, is gonna be like fixing the capture card situation. Probably getting another internal cap card like I use on that Switch. With that one never disconnects. This one disconnects because it's USB. I don't know. I might get a snack with some of the money too. Your desire to have a pet pigeon versus your love for cats. Boys, one of your favorite dog breeds, which is a breed that has an especially strong drive to hunt small animals, from what you've heard. Oh gosh. Yeah, some dog breeds have like an extremely high prey drive. Like, and it's not just like big dogs or like anything. Like, it's just like, if a dog was bred to like hunt certain prey, that is what they will like want to do constantly. Like terriers. Like if you have any kind of terrier and you have like a pet hamster or ferret or rat or anything like that, as a recipe for disaster, because like, you know, terriers were bred to like hunt rodents in fields. So they want to do that. Just keep them in different rooms. Yeah, that's all you got to do, right? A snack, how dare me. Well, if I say that I'm hungry, so like, guys, donate $400, I'm hungry, I'm going to go grab a tiny little snack with it, right? That makes it where I haven't lied. The money is going to food. I bought like a bag of chips with it. No. Your dog, a golden doodle, for some reason only attacks rabbits. No other dog or small game, but rabbits. Yeah, I mean, I think, that was actually kind of interesting, I guess, because like poodles were more bred as like guard dogs. But yeah, that's like a thing. Like if they just go after that kind of, they like just go after rodents. My cat just hasn't had a chance to go after anything. Oh no, not even the squirrels, just the rabbits. Dang. Love poodles as much as you love Borzois. I think you would, at least for your first person dog, you'd want a poodle. I've always wanted, I've wanted a German Shepherd for a long time, but like, realistically, that'd be awful. Realistically, like, I am not in a situation to take care of a, like, super high energy dog like that. Mammals or hassles. Hashtag rep gang. I don't know, my cat cleans itself and, like, poops in a pile of sand for me, so, like, the hassle there is just that she's a jerk sometimes when she wants attention. Hey, what's going on, B. Mercer? Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? Poodles are great, they do not shed. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing I'd have to get used to, like a big dog, is like the shedding. Like obviously I have to get used to it with my cat too, but because all the dogs my family ever had were like didn't shed or anything like that. Cat doesn't bury his poo, he just scratches on the side of the wash machine. Oh no. Mine will pull litter out of the box sometimes. I think she's like really trying to cover it up, and so she'll just like scoop it into such a like tall mound that it just goes over the top of the like size of the litter box. I'm like, why? Why would you? What? But you know. It's still all in the litter box, aside from a little bit of sand I have to like brush up with a broom. Just like sweep up with a broom. Sorry for the yawning. Not much I can do about it today. Want a border collie so bad, but you do not have the lifestyle to give it the mental stimulation it needs, especially not with your planned career path. Can't have a breed like a border collie. Yeah, like that's kind of where like I am with like a German Shepherd, right? Is like the pandemic would have been like the only time I really had a chance for that to work. Because like yeah, it's like that'd have been like the one time I actually had all the chance to do that. But I was in an apartment that was clearly not going to be suitable for like a puppy of any kind, or like any kind of like any like age range like German Shepherd or something, obviously, right? Like, it's like yeah, so I got a cat. And I don't regret it. When you're younger, your family had 2 German Shepherds, so you had to vacuum dust every day or risk being buried in the fur. I can imagine. Especially like at the time of year when they're changing coats. That was already bad enough with my cat. There was just like a week, like I ended up looking it up because I didn't think cats did this, and I didn't think that it would happen like going into winter. I would think it would have happened coming out of winter. But apparently it can happen on both sides of winter, and like it isn't like uncommon. But yeah, like there was just like a week where my cat was just like exploding with fur. Where like literally every time she did anything, like massive clumps came out, and I was like, oh no, you're like balding again. It's like, no, it's just her coat changing. You say that she was balding again? Nah. I was worried she was. I was worried she was with the coat changing stuff, but nah, she's been alright. She's still finicky about taking her medicine, but overall, I think a lot of that's calmed down with like stress going away, because like obviously like her going from wherever she was before to a humane society to me in like the span of like 2 or 3 months, like very stressful for a cat. So at the end of that, right, like you know, at the end of that, she's calmed down, she's been able to relax more. She's been doing fairly well. She's still definitely got little patches that she'll like groom too much, that I'm trying to get her out of the habit of doing, but I can only do so much, you know. Has she been bald before? When I first got her, she was over grooming, and like her sides and like her legs were like very, very thin, because she was pulling her hair out basically. Because you know, like she has allergies, so she gets itchy, and when she gets itchy, all she really can do is groom, and since her tongue is sandpaper, it just pulls her hair out, and then she'd like bite at her arm and stuff, and like really kind of take it all down. So yeah, if the confusion was about the again part, yes, it is an again thing. Because like right when I first got her, she had a lot of issues. I should go ahead and like crack the door here just in case she wakes up from her nap and wants to come in. Because when I started streaming, she was taking a nap. Ugh. Hey, what's going on, Poker Guitarist Jake? He'd start earlier. Sorry, bro. You're good. You're good. Hope you're doing well. Do believe in you, though. Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully we find a shiny soon. Because, yeah, in a few more encounters, once we get 2048, we'll have seen 4,096 Pokemon and hit odds officially. And that's including everything. That's not just like doubled up Piplups. Like that's including like it'd be 2048 Starly and 2048 Piplup. One of the nice things about dual hunting is you might have one game that's lucky, but both games might be unlucky. Yeah, exactly. Like you get, like yeah. On one hand, right, you could get like one game that's super lucky and you find it really early, but even when we hit odds, you know, when we hit 4096, we'll have two games that could both be on their way to hitting full odds individually, and we can go to 8192. You just never know, right? Like, you're doing two hunts at once, and, like, anyone who's shiny hunted enough knows that it's not like it's not like you get one good hunt and then one bad hunt. It's like you might get 3 bad hunts in a row, so doing, like, 2 games together, you can just have two of your bad games at once. That's definitely a possibility. Shift around a little bit. My ankle's itchy. I'm using a Wavebird or just Joy-Cons? I'm using Joy-Cons. I don't have like a second Wavebird adapter or the like USB GameCube adapters. I know that would work. Watch all 4 Pokemon shine on 2048. That'd be incredible. Hey, cat. What's up? Hi, yes, hello. Come on. There you go. Meow. You want to say hello to everyone, or are you just going to be a stinker and be loud? I almost immediately got a cat hair in my mouth. Do the Joy-Cons for both systems on the Joy-Con grip as separate controllers? Yeah. So since you can remap the buttons, like I guess like an accessibility option, you can remap buttons. All the buttons required for each reset is like you can put on one controller or on one Joy-Con. So yeah, this Joy-Con goes up there. This Joy-Con goes up there, and yeah, I just like mash somewhat equivalent buttons on each, and it works. Yes, what's up? Cat headbutts your Switch off the dock and it disconnects the wires every time he comes in your room because he can't sit still. Aw. My cat will, what she likes to do is she'll walk under the desk, and I've been slowly fixing this, but all my cables used to dangle down under the desk. Like, it looked all right up top, but it looked pretty terrible underneath the desk. She'll stick her tail straight up in the air. She really likes just using her tail, like, it's very solid, and she will hold it very firmly. She'd hold her tail up and, like, push the loops of wires around so they'd slap against the wall and into each other and make a ton of racket. But yeah, right now she's just... I don't know what she's doing right now, or what her game plan is. Can you see your cat more? Sure. Adele, you gotta be... If you're gonna come into the room, you gotta be on camera, okay? This is Adele. She's super sweet. I don't know if you can hear her purring or not. But, yeah, this is Adele. She's super sweet. She's very, very, very cuddly. Almost to a fault. if it could be to a fault. She just really, really likes being the center of attention. Looks like your cat a little bit. Aw. Yeah, she's just generic cat, you know. Generic short hair cat. She's got like mostly like kind of the gray pattern to her with a couple little orange spots here and there. It's a boy though, skinny and tiny. His head is small. Aw. Yeah, she's not super skinny. She's not like big. She's not like big, but you know, she's not super thin. The vet seemed to think it was pretty standard, and I'll go with that. And her weight stayed pretty similar, so she's probably, I guess, about the right size for her. She weighs like 12 pounds. She looks like your annoying one. He's annoying but has his moments when he's adorable too. It's like a little brother to you. Bonded with him more when he had to get surgery. Oh no, what do you have to get surgery for? Because this one, she actually had like oral dental surgery the day before I adopted her. It was actually a thing where I went online to like see if she was still there, like on the Humane Society's website, and she had been taken off. I like couldn't see her on there, and I had like planned on going in the next day, and I was like, oh no, yeah, oh, did she get adopted? Like, great for her, but oh no, I wanted to be the one to do that. And so I showed up, and I kind of like, I saw that she was there, and I was like, immediately asked. She wasn't like in the normal kennels. She was in like a separate one with like just a paper name tag. Like, is she up for adoption, or is she adopted, or what's going on? And I was like, oh, she had like dental surgery that morning. They just took her out like the day before to prep her for it and stuff. And so I actually like adopted her while she was still a little bit loopy on the painkillers. Made it a little bit easier getting her home. He had a cyst on his neck year 3 or year 4 after you had him. So like, one of those things that has to be taken care of, but usually isn't like super dangerous, like not a super risky surgery or anything, but still something, especially on the neck, that you got to recover from. Yeah, she had like a deep tooth cleaning, basically, like the morning I adopted her. So it was funny, and like the pictures they had online of her face is all poofy, and it was like, oh, I wonder what makes her face like that. And it was apparently just like tooth problems. So she had her little cleaning, and her face depuffed, and she looks a lot more like a normal cat. But yeah, she's super cuddly, super playful. Brother died 2 months ago. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I had him for 11 years. The vet recommended he sleep because he had fluid in his lungs. Nothing you can do at that point. Yeah, it's sad when that happens, but you know, it ends up being the right call, right? Because like it's do that, or they'll stick around for a while, but like not like in super great shape and not having a good time. So I'm sorry to hear it had that happen, but yeah, sometimes it does end up being the right decision. Yo, Javier, what's going on? Does she have tooth rot abscess? She doesn't have that yet. There is concern that she will develop that kind of thing. She has had a lot of like had to get like descaling and stuff, and her teeth were just not in great shape. But no like abscess or anything. They did mention that like eventually she will probably have to have her top canines taken out, but like that's a little ways down the road. It's just part of she has other like underlying health things. She has FIV, which is like basically cat HIV, and it general day to day, it's not a big deal for her, especially as like an indoor cat who doesn't interact with other cats and can't really catch cat diseases. She's generally fine and won't have any problems, but one of the few things that can still happen is like just dental issues and allergies. We fight the allergies every day, and the dental issues will be a thing. Cats didn't have abnormally bad teeth. I imagine that just somewhat comes down to the diet, right? Like, depending on what they're doing. They were all related. Still have the mom. Aw, the brown cat like yours is the one that was different. He's not fluffy, he's fuzzy, and the rest of them are fluffy superiors. Interesting. This is a sweet orange cat. Still feel the texture as you remember him. Aw. FELV, FIV is pretty wild. Yeah. Yeah, like that was actually the thing. Like, so the Humane Society gave me like, like $250 like credit towards whoa, that was trippy. Okay, now they both updated. Towards like the first vet visit, and they recommend you do it in the first few days. I ended up having to go the second day because she like got a nosebleed and had a sneezing fit and freaked me out. And they're like, yeah, she's been sneezing a lot. Here's like stuff for an eye infection she had and for like an ear infection she had, and like I was like, all right, well, let's fix that. And then when I went, I had to take her back. So like also like, oh hey, vaccine, needs updated on her like vaccinations and stuff. I was like, all right. And when she was there, they like one of the vets like started laying into me basically like, how could you not notice the cats like this? I had her like a week. This is how she was when she left the Humane Society, and like I can't imagine they let her leave like that. And so I showed her like all the forms I had, and like, oh, she has FIV. Okay, yeah, that explains all of the reasons for this cat having weird troubles. It's like, okay, at least like it's not my fault. Diet that cats normally have, and normally not diseases in their mouth naturally. Oh yeah. Their mouths just be kind of gross. Your brown cat had two other siblings like him, but you gave them to your grandma because she recently was recommended for cats to sleep, and then shortly after she had kittens. Oh, like you shortly had the kittens after that. Gotcha. Is that still booting? Or are we loading into a game at this point? Yeah, I think we're just loading into a game at this point. But yeah, so overall, cat's been good. She's still got a couple little spots that she gnaws on, so you deal with cats. Oh, got you, Javier. Got you. Yeah. Yeah, so right now, like, the biggest sign of anything with her, always the same issues for the most part. Got you. Yeah, right now, for the most part, her big issue is allergies. They never really nailed down what they were, or what, like, was causing them. The vets had recommended, like, I think it was, like, ZD diet or something, and that food did not sit well with her. And didn't help either, which was the unfortunate part, right? Like, she had, like, a lot of, like, issues in the litter box while eating that. So she's back on, like, generic cat food with, like, a little antihistamine thrown in it. And it works well. It does great. But she still has problems because she doesn't like eating the antihistamine pill. She doesn't like taking the pill. Fortunately, she's a good sport about me giving her medicine. But it's one of those things where, like, 50% of the time she'll eat it out of the bowl. The other 50% of the time she won't, and, like, a large chunk of that she'll trick me and, like, hide the pill somewhere. Rescued a pregnant stray 11 years ago. Oh, nice. Got a new Pikachu controller. It's light blue with a purple D-pad and yellow sticks. Oh, cool. That's awesome. No, Frisky is generally really good for cats. Cool. I'll keep that in mind. I think she has like, I just kept buying the same food that she had at the Humane Society. Once like, so I started with that and she was on that, and then switched to like prescription diet stuff for like 2 bags of food basically, and like she didn't get better during that time in terms of like her digestive system adjusting to it. So I went back to the other food and just like an over-the-counter, allergy medication mixed in, and it seems to be working. So it's like she's had bad experiences switching diets, but it'd be interesting to give that a shot. Hey Bear, what's going on? And Goldie, what's going on? Welcome to the stream, guys. How you guys doing today? But yeah, from everything I'm aware of, this is my first cat. She's decently happy and healthy. She likes playing around. She likes cuddling and purrs like a machine constantly. And is the most well-behaved cat I've ever interacted with, as far as like, she doesn't scratch, she doesn't bite, I've never heard her hiss, I've never heard her like do any kind of angry noises. The most I've heard is like startled noises if, like she's asleep and I like give her like a scratch behind her ear or something while she's asleep and it startles her. Like that's the most that's happened. Even when like I'm wrestling her to like give her medicine or something, she just kind of like tries to wiggle away, but like she doesn't scratch, she doesn't do anything like that. I feel very lucky in that regard, I would imagine. I know cat people have like seen her, and then like I've described the medication she had to have like the first week I had her, and I was like, no, she didn't scratch, she didn't do anything, she just took it like a champ. Went and was like moody and pouty in the corner after it was all done, but overall she was like okay. I came out of it with, I think at most, sorry, there was like a cat hair in my mouth. The most I think I ever came out of it with damage wise was like I had a red mark on my like thigh when one day I wasn't wearing jeans or sweatpants when I gave her like the medicine, and she tried clawing through like a pair of like shorts. Hey, let's go gaming. What's going on? Welcome to the stream. I can't wait for this shiny to come. I can't wait either. I'm really, really excited for it because I want to do so much more hunting. I want to do the Eterna Forest dual hunting. I want to do more poker radar. I want to do all this kind of stuff. And Rose Girl, you're 6,000 eggs for Beniri. Still hoping to get it before you open the first of your new games. Yeah, I hope you get it. Had to give your big boy orange cat anxiety liquid medication, and he would run away. I took it like a champ and would stuff his face with food right after. Nice. Yeah, I think the worst she ever had a reaction to medication was when she was trying the prescription food, and it first upset her whole like digestive system. They tried like a little bit of medicine to try to solidify all that, and that was like an oral medication. And it was apparently very bitter. She did not like the taste at all. And her mouth would foam because, she was like trying to get this taste out of her mouth. It would just be like, she would just be doing that. And it would eventually like mix with saliva and just froth it all up. And she looked like rabid after that. She was not a fan. So I always made sure to give her that one before food, so she had a chance to like get another taste in her mouth. Meanwhile, you're trying to evolve this Beniri. I feel that, though. I've got a lot of stuff in my main Brilliant Diamond save. I'm trying to evolve for my living decks. I feel like your orange cat was the most behaved out of all your cats. He messed with his little sister, but he was always very good when we told him no. He didn't like making us mad. That's good. That's good. Yeah, my cat doesn't really, I don't think, understand the concept of like no and stuff like that. I think she just takes attention as attention, and she wants attention. But she's never done anything like mean towards me. Like the biggest things have been like, I want attention, I'm gonna munch on like this houseplant of yours, or I want attention, I'm gonna scratch on the couch, like things I can deal with. I can move the plant. I can like put like some of like the no scratchy like double-sided tape stuff on the corners of my couch, right? Like I can do these kind of things. But yeah, she's never been mad at me. I think she's only ever made any kind of noise, and it was more of an ouch than anything. To like ever like any kind of interaction with a person. It was just she got picked up funky. What are my expectations for Gen 9? I have none at the moment. I don't really have any expectations for that until we see more about a potential Gen 9 and stuff. Right now, I'm just waiting. I'm enjoying BDSP and waiting for Arceus. That's my mentality right now. I'm not looking that far into the future. I don't find a need to yet. Come another year or so, maybe then I'll be like, oh, I kind of hope we get this kind of thing. But until then, I'm not like super hyping it up in my head. Look at that Puss in Boots look in his face when you tell him no. Aw. Short haircut thing. Any attention is good attention. Exactly, right? Ow, 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 ow. Okay. Yeah. That's the only time I ever kind of get it is she like... The problem is she seems to really like kind of sliding out of a chair. So she'll sit in my lap and she'll just go completely limp. And her butt won't quite be on my lap. So her weight is just slowly pulling her off. And eventually she slips and grabs. I feel like since Gen 7, we all just kind of had low expectations of Pokemon games, and it kind of sucks. I mean, I'm not saying, like, it's not like I have low expectations, like, I expect nothing from these games because they're going to disappoint me or something. I'm not looking that far ahead. And in general, I try not to go into games with high expectations, not because I've been let down in the past or something, but just because I tend to enjoy things better if I'm not expecting anything from them. Like if I go into something and in my mind is just kind of, yeah, that'll be fun. It'll be fun to play. And I don't really know too much about it. There's a lot of excitement from discovering stuff in the games and kind of figuring things out and not having spent so much time in the rumor mills and looking at speculation and everything. Like, it's fun to kind of look at that stuff after the fact. Or for like things that are kind of like continuously ongoing, like TV shows and series and like comic series and stuff that are like ongoing. It's fun to like between like chapters and between episodes and stuff like speculate, but I'm not really super big into speculating on video games outside of stuff. What is this? I don't get what, like, the spam in the chat. What is this? What is the point? No one's gonna like type that in or click on it. It's just poof, it goes away, right? Like, it's like you can't click it. You have to go type it. Who's gonna go type that? Do have a theory that Game Freak is taking their time with Gen 9 this time around, and that's what they say, having the year of Sinnoh. Hey, I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. I want them to take more time. As I've said constantly, take time, Release other side games, Like, we can go a year without a mainline game. Give us like a new mystery dungeon, or give us a new ranger, or a new series entirely, right? Like, they're giving us Legends, Like, you can give us something like that. The people who really, really want to play the core games will keep playing the core games, but they'll still buy like these other games. As long as they aren't just like mobile games on the Switch, Like, yeah, it's definitely, I think it would be a smart move to take a year, right? Like, take some time, give some breathing room to the games. Yeah, it happens in live streams now. Like, that's the thing, is like, it's always happened in comments on videos, but comments in videos can almost kind of get away with it because it's like, comments in videos, like, you can put links. Like, they figured out how to put links in those comments. YouTube's finally, after like 6 months, it took like 6 months plus for them to figure it out how to like actually stop it. But it's like they've been doing that in like, at least then it was a clickable link. Here it's not, right? Pokemon Unite, in your opinion, is pay to win? Oh, it absolutely is, yeah. Absolutely, Bear. But yeah, like, to come into a live stream and just post, like, 10 characters, one's a space so it doesn't become a valid hyperlink, like, the most you get is me, is like this, right? Where like we're talking to being like, whose idea is this? Like, the most I could see is like, if they posted enough in my own chat, I'm gonna get curious. But I also have ways to like look at that without it like becoming a thing that I click. But I guess at the same time, like, someone who knows how to like view that kind of thing without like clicking on it too much is like also kind of, they don't want me clicking on it because they don't want like someone who knows what they're doing falling for it. They would much rather it be like someone who's like, oh, I'll just type this into the search bar. But it's not even like they say that. They just like put like half the link there. It's like they say, oh, this site's awesome, it does this or something. It's just the link. And we get a bunch of spam texts from Donald Trump inviting you to join his social media platform. We got 3 yesterday. I did not, no. Most of my spam texts aren't like actual spam texts. What they end up being is my phone number has been signed up for so many things. If there is a Cassandra in chat, I doubt there is, but there's a Cassandra in chat who's been using a phone number similar to theirs but not quite theirs to sign up for tons of political things. Could you change the number you use for that? I totally respect the idea of not giving them your number. Could you not give them mine? Yeah, for the past like 4 years, basically, or even longer than that, probably. Yeah, at this point, probably longer than that, since it was in college, and it's been a while since college. I've just gotten like, hi Cassandra, I am so and so with the so and so, you know, political group, like lobby group or whatever, or just like someone like, we saw your house is like in this area, we're looking to buy there. It's like, are you selling yours? Or like signed up for some legitimate accounts too. Like, yeah, it's terrible. That's honestly most of my texts are like those. It's fortunately died down in the past year. Last fall was awful, right? Like all of the campaign texts and stuff. It was like, I got one that was like, because a lot of those aren't like spam and like the way of being bots. There's like actual people who like volunteer for this group they believe in, and like they send out texts and it's like, all right, cool, but I don't want to get texted. I want to be taken off any lists. But I got one text is like, hey, is this Ian? And I was on call at my old job that week, and in general, like I've gotten texts like that from family members who are just like trying to figure out my number or like get my number from somewhere. And they and it was like, hey, is this Ian? And I was like, it was a phone number that looked like it would have been kind of from the area that like one of my cousins is from, and I'm like, they get a different phone on occasion, and they try to figure out. They've tried to figure out who I am through like weird Google Duo calls that started ringing on like a Google Home in my house and stuff before. Like, I was like, all right, maybe this is them. So I went, yes, and like, I'm like so and so with the party for like this person, and I was so mad because of that, because like I got stressed thinking it was like a work thing. I was really tempted to respond back with, you should get me off any lists, because the next time I hear about someone pro your person, I am voting the other person. Like, I almost sent that, but I just blocked the number and, like, ignored them, which is probably really the right thing to do. Now I just get the car extended warranty calls, and it's like, but why? One of my cars, I've actually told them the information before, like, oh, you can't warranty that. Like, all right, yeah, well, just because I was like, I knew that it was fake, and I was like, all right. I was on my work phone, too, so it's not like it was linking to me or anything. And they're like, oh, we can't insure that. And it's like, all right, cool. Well, why'd you call then? This is Pion. What's going on? It's been a while. How you been? I'm doing well. How are you? Never thought of someone using a fake number to sign up for stuff. Thought you were on a list from something. So you got a spam text from house. A month. 44 month going to block this number. Hey, Stone family, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Always ask which vehicle they're calling about and they hang up. Yeah, it's really, like, that's the thing is, like, I do wish I went through on a couple more of them and went, hi, what's your vehicle? I'm like, you called me, you tell me. The one thing I did play with them is I was very adamant that I owned a Toyota Civic for about 10 minutes. I was able to hold them on that long. Like, clearly they kind of got a lot of those, and they, like, wised up, because I was like, I have a, like, 2018 Toyota Civic, and he's like, you mean Honda Civic? It's like, no, Toyota Civic. It's like, Honda Civic, that's what you mean. Toyota Civic. Toyota Camry, Toyota Civic. And, like, kept going. Like, clearly they knew that it wasn't a real car, and they'd heard that one a lot. A good man, watching you in 5th grade, so to see you still hunting shinies is amazing. Hey! It's always awesome to see people come back after, like, a long time and stuff, yeah. Someone texted your number and said, hey, Jacob, instead of Jacob, and you asked to join the military. You're on disability and was paranoid and having anxiety. The president and government decided to draft people? Oh, gosh. Don't want to say problems. You're good. Nah, that would that would be kind of ridiculous. No, yeah. The U.S. military is fine without a draft right now. I updated my driver's license stuff like the other day because, you know, I moved and then my parents, like, sold their house that all of my information was registered at, so I changed all that the other day, and, like, it was like, are you registered for selective service? And I was like, yeah, I have been since I got my first license. Like, it's kind of been a thing, right? Not that it matters anyways, you know. I'm almost beyond that. Freshman now and have finals, sadly, but it's really nice to see you again. Hey, I hope finals are going well. Also, hate when random numbers call you and scam likely. Yes, that's always awful. Oh, the worst is I got one that wasn't, like, actually, like, necessarily, like, a scam call or, like, a spam call. It was from my internet provider, and it was, like, a random number, because they've called before, and it always would show up as, like, coming from, like, that company, because, like, caller ID can show, like, businesses, registered business phone numbers and stuff. And yeah, like, usually it would say, like, you know, the company calling, we've got great deals for you. And so I would ignore it. And eventually one time I answered, because, like, all right, fine, whatever. And they tried to get me to pay, like, $10 a month more for, like, a speed increase that they were going to do, like, across the board anyways. That was fun. That was a fun one to be like, they tried to make me a sucker. When, like, they were like, oh yeah, you absolutely, like, you want this. Well, go ahead, email you. I was like, I don't want the improvement. I don't want this. It was like, we'll double your speed for, like, $10 more a month. I was like, I already told you I want nothing. I want to change my service none. Unless you are lowering my bill for the same speed or increasing for the same price. I don't want it. And, you know, like, basically, this deal's too good to refuse. I said, I refuse. Yeah, screw you. I dislike you as a company, right? Like, I'm not giving you more money. So, like, and then, like, a week later, like, I noticed my speed had been bumped anyways. I'm like, all right, whatever. So it got bumped without, like, the rate increase. Feel free to delete those comments. Hey, you're fine. Don't believe I'm fighting for your country. Believe it's serving the creeds of the higher up. Hey, that's fair, man. Actually, if you register for selective services, but you're 2 years into your National Guard contract, it's like, I feel like I've surpassed the need for this. Not trying to start controversy with anyone, because I know it's an intense topic. Hey, you're fine. You're fine. Was getting military recruiter calls for your first 3 years of college because your high school made you take the ASVAP and shared your scores. It sucks when, like, a high school does that, right? Like, it's not like a high schooler knows what they're doing with that or any implications. It's not like you can say no. Man, that sucks. Yeah, fortunately, I didn't have any of that. Yeah, I hate when, like, I do hate when stuff like schools or just any kind of service, like, sells your information just because, like, they can. You know, like, for no real reason. Like, I actually got kind of upset. So, I had to, like, you know, forward my mail from my apartment to my new house back when I moved, right? Because, like, I was still gonna have, like, bills or, like, stuff like that show up there for a little bit. So basically it's like, hey, you know, I can change my, like, mailing address on this, like, mail service, but I can't change, you know, like, I can't change it for the, like, in time for stuff that's already been sent, you know? It's like, you can forward your mail, and it's like, it was like $1 to do it online. So, like, alright, so I went to the USPS's website and did that, and they sent me a fat package of, like, important, do not discard, make sure you check. It was like the very top sheet was like, hey, just a confirmation that your mail is forwarded. Here's 20 different ads that we stuffed into this thing and definitely told these companies you live here now. No, my taxes pay for you and I paid you to change this. You don't get to advertise to me now. That was frustrating. Definitely ended up in more than one office because you had problems saying no. Oh, man. That sucks. I feel that, though. Hey, what's going on, MC? Welcome to the stream, man. How you doing today? But yeah, that goes... That my frustration with the post office in that circumstance is the same kind of thing I go back to with, like, cable companies and stuff at this point of, like, I pay you. You don't get to, like, then sell my information or, like, sell my eyeballs to someone else. Sounds like him. Yeah, I'm not actually a lookalike at all, I'm just a sound-alike. This is a really, like, weirdly detailed VTuber layout. Yo, what's going on, Alex? Welcome to the stream. Hope both of us get shiny PIPLUP today. Hope so. Best of luck to you. Ian in post office, no bueno. I mean, that was really the only problem. It was just like, why'd I get a ton of, like, advertisements? You know, the amount of, like, welcome to the neighborhood kind of things and, like, stuff like that that are just, like, that aren't, like, actual welcome to the neighborhoods from, like, people in the neighborhood. Like, I did get one of those. It was kind of like, hey, you know, you're here. You're here, by the way, we all use this thing. So it's like, you know, like, that kind of thing. It's like, alright, thanks for letting me know, but, like... But yeah, like, the welcome to the neighborhood and all it is just, like, stacked full of, like, crud. You know, it's like I got one today is why I'm thinking about it. That was like, here's, like, advertisements for a furniture store and stuff. It's like, I've been here 3 months. Like, if I needed that stuff, I found it. And, you know, obviously that kind of stuff just shows up in the mail at random, but yeah, the other big thing I had with, like, post office and, like, shipping things was Adele's flea medication was just, like, set up on, like, an auto renewal thing, and, you know, all their auto renewal stuff said, like, hey, you know, just so you know, like, if you need to change stuff, you can just go here and change it, and, like, it's super easy. Go there, and of course you can't change it. It's like very much probably to keep you from canceling, but and I'm gonna call, like, so, like, I tried changing it. And then it didn't effectively change, so her flea medication for a month got shipped to the apartment still. So then I had to call, like, not the vet, despite the vet being the one that fills the order. I had to call this other thing that then changed it was a whole mess. Internet back then was different. Back when? Also, my nose is so itchy.
I'm lost looking to forget. The moon lights up my sundress, shows what lies ahead. I'm on a midnight bike ride, bed shoulders 2 a.m. Left you behind. How could you think we could just be friends again? I'm on a midnight bike ride, bed shoulders 2 a.m. Left you behind. Now that you know things can never be the same. I'm on a midnight bike ride, bed shoulders 2 a.m. Left you behind. How could you think we could just be friends again? I'm on a midnight bike ride, bed shoulders 2 a.m. Left you behind. Now that you know things can never be the same. Lights up my sundress, reminds me to forget. Lights up my sundress, shows what lies ahead.
Bear with the bear emoji fitting. Ooh. You're alright, instinct seeking with someone coughs. Yeah, I just swallowed water wrong. So I don't know if I'm actually alright, but the cough's not a problem. Felt that, yeah. Something else wrong if I can't drink water right, but that's a whole different thing. Hey, what's going on, Luigi? Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? Excited. So you got Shintain growth. Congratulations. That's awesome. What way were you hunting for it? Pokemon Home doesn't support BDSP yet. Yeah, those kind of things usually don't end up supporting the new games until the new year. They kind of aim to get through the holiday season, basically like the time that they expect most people to be buying the game fresh. They want to encourage people to play the game without trading in a ton of Pokemon immediately off the bat. So yeah, they hold that off for a little bit. What's the plan for stream if you get shiny early? Today it'll probably honestly be ending. We're probably basically gonna do it for another 30 minutes max anyways. I had to wake up super early for work this morning, so I'm kind of tired. As probably can tell by the yawning that's been happening throughout stream. So yeah, if we find the shiny like right now, it'd be like a woohoo, and then we end for the day kind of thing. Just because, like I said, I'm tired. And then we'll come back on Thursday with stuff. I also have nothing else planned. I have no other shiny hunts prepped. I think they want people to play the game and encourage. Oh, I didn't even check those. Yeah, complete the game with a Pokemon Home until it releases. They want people to play the game through and enjoy it. Yeah. Yeah, like it totally makes sense. I mean, they've done that as long as I've been playing games on release day. And I think like every time people are like, oh no, they didn't let us have it from home yet, or from bank or home yet. Why'd they do that? And it's like, because they always do it that way. Before bank and stuff, I mean, the only way you could trade stuff up from older gens usually came with beating the game on both systems, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like pre-Gen 6, you know, before Pokemon Bank was the way to transfer stuff in, I'm pretty sure like you had to beat the game to do most of that. Just happy beat Cynthia. Nice. After 277 soft resets, you're hunting in Forest of Focus. Nice. Congrats on getting it, Luigi. That's awesome. 200 runaways so far. Best of luck with that, Vanillix. Doing random encounters on Route 10 of Pokemon Sword. After that hunt, you'll hunt for Slippery Slope and the Crown Tundra for the winter season. Nice, I think that's fitting. Don't mind if it's a glitch, I just want to shiny out something we've never gotten not locked before. That's fair. You do you. How you been? What's new? I've been good. I'm tired today. I had a meeting at 6:30 this morning that I forgot I had until about midnight last night. So you can imagine not as much sleep was had as desired. And unfortunately it wasn't like a meeting where it happened early and I could sleep and then wake up for work at the usual time. It basically went until my normal meetings start, and then my normal meetings went long too. So I like 3 hours into the day, it was 9:30 and I hadn't done anything but meetings. Like I was almost halfway through the day at 10. So yeah, 6:30. Yeah, it was just because like the problem is all of my meetings are slammed into the first like couple hours of the day. Like 7:30 is when I usually start work. Which makes that like 6:30 not feel as bad to me, but when like people think of like a 9 to 5 or like an 8 to 5 as it is now, which is dumb. It should be 9 to 5. We should get lunch, but whatever. I always heard 9 to 5 and then I started working and it apparently is not that. But yeah, no, like I work like 7:30 to 4:30 usually. And so like that to me is not that bad. But like if you start at 9 usually, 6:30 sounds ridiculous. But I usually start at 7:30 because a lot of my team is in India. So it's late for them at that point. So yeah, we have our meetings at like 7:30. So that's when we start the day. But it means if we want to do anything on top of that, we have to put it before that. Would be half awake and half asleep in the meeting. Yeah, that's basically what I was. Fortunately, it was more so just like an explanation of like a process we're following. So like I didn't have to like interact. I just had to listen. Oof, meetings, yeah. Remember when transferring Pokemon was free? Yeah, good times. Yeah, I mean, fortunately, home is like has a free version. But yeah, bank being $5. Yeah, for some people, like that's $5 you don't have. Fortunately, it's like $5 a year. What do I do for work? I am a software developer. There's some really nice shinies in those areas. Galarian, Darumaka, Stonejourner, Snom, and Amora. Yeah. Good looking at shiny people. Thank you. Give me my shiny luck. Thank you. I need it. Need some good luck today. I want to find it. We've gone past 2048, which was the point where something, one of the 4 Pokemon we see, should be shiny. But alas. Can you develop you some software to be better at Nuzlocke? If only. If I could do that, I'd do it for myself. Most of my stuff's web dev stuff. Making softwares, yeah. I mostly just like add things to existing ones, but yeah. Bank is still a better deal than Home, though, to be honest. I haven't installed Home. I don't know what all it like specifically adds feature-wise, aside from just being Bank on Switch. You can only transfer from 3DS to Switch with Premium? Really? For some reason, transferring between Switch games is free? I'm trying to milk as much money from people with 3DSs? Yeah. That's strange. So, like, the transfer from Bank to Home costs, like, you have to have the Premium version of Home? Seem to need a lot of shiny Lux to hear this. Thank you, Bear. Thank you. Just double checking. Leave one, the one you get so you're able to transfer with Bank is like $16 or something. What the heck? Why is it so much? What does it do that's different than Bank, which is $5? Crabrave? It should be somewhere in here. Adding software is incredible too. Thank you, Luigi. Unfortunately, it works like that, and it's horrible. Let's transfer your Mons. Say how paying for Pokemon is like paying for Skylanders now. That's why you quit Skylanders. Yeah. Yeah, I never really got like the whole like Toys to Life kind of stuff. That was never really targeted towards me. I think I was a little bit on the older side of that. So said the same thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, once Sword and Shield didn't have the full National Dex, I decided I wasn't transferring stuff up from Gen 7 anyways. So I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. The most I would need Bank for is transferring between games on Switch, so can't really quit Pokemon because it's been with you your whole life on like Skylanders. Fair. Fair. Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of people just kind of got to that point with Skylanders though, right? Like, you can only do so much of that, especially when you also, like, all the other companies were, like, getting in on it, too. Stop transferring, it's basically Bank put on Switch. I mean, yeah, that's what it is, and, like, that's what it should have kind of just remained. 17 years old when Spyro's Adventure came out from Skylanders. Liked it because it was on the Wii, and it was an RPG, and like the fantasy lore behind the characters. My sister had like the original like Spyro's Adventure, yeah, like the starter kit Skylanders. I never played it. My sister was very possessive of it and would actually like get mad and rip it out of the Wii and take it away if I tried playing it. So I never played. The best thing about home is mass release from Masuda Hunts. I've heard that that's there, and it's like that's actually kind of nice. Quit playing Skylanders after the third game; it just got too expensive. And yeah, rightfully that's fair. Yeah, like it's definitely one of those things where it's like it kind of almost makes sense initially, but because like when the game kind of is like it plays, you can play the whole thing without like buying new stuff, but like if you buy new stuff, like it adds in things. It's kind of like masking DLC behind little figures almost, but then it just became more and more of that. Personally, I like Disney Infinity more than Skylanders. Never played Disney Infinity. I don't really have much of an opinion on it. Made cookies today and failed. Oh no! How'd you fail? Are they still edible cookies? If they are, then I don't think it's a failure. Best thing about home. Oh yeah. Pokemon Sword made you like the Pokemon franchise. Really? Hey, there we go. People were asking for it. Why do you think they stopped making them? Yeah, because a lot of people were buying them. We had Pizza, demo disc with Spyro on it, and played that stuff for hours. Heck yeah, dude. Toy Story Life kind of fell off. Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where, like, if you had one franchise doing it, it would probably last for a while. I mean, Amiibos are still around, right? Like, Amiibos still exist and still have some use, but Nintendo was kind of smart. They didn't market those 100% like with a game. It was mostly just kind of marketed as like existing in the general like space of Nintendo. So like they're collectible figures that have purpose in a game. But like yeah, a game like Skylanders or Lego Dimensions or Disney Infinity relied on the Toys to Life part of it, and like if people aren't buying that, they're not gonna, like, if people aren't buying the game, they're not gonna buy the figures, and like it's just this like kind of this thing where the real problem is you can't have that be successful for one company and not have other companies try to emulate it. And so everyone had to try, and then eventually that kind of made the bubble burst, and the only one to come out ahead was Nintendo, I think, just because Amiibos are so different. Lego, Disney, Activision just kept coming. Yeah, I mean, yeah, well, Skylanders started it, then Disney Infinity came out, and then Lego Dimensions came out. Lego Dimensions probably had the most promise, but I think it kind of came too late. As far as I'm aware, I feel like it came too late. I feel like by the time Lego Dimensions came out, I was already rolling my eyes at the concept of it, just because, like, another one of these things. Come on now. Your performance will be heavily improved when another chance arises. Heck yeah, they're flat, dense, and slightly burnt. Ah, dang. Never got a chance to play Lego Dimensions. Yeah, it's like, I just know that a lot of people would buy the sets and then immediately turn around and flip the minifigs online for, like, profit. Or they'd go the other way around. A lot of times, I think what also would happen is collectors would buy the Dimensions set for the minifigs and turn around and just sell the, like, the NFC chip, the NFC stand at the bottom. Also, NFT, the NFC stand at the bottom. Be like, it's like, I don't own the game. I just wanted a Doctor Who minifigure. I just wanted a Homer Simpson minifigure, right? Like they do that. Heard it was good though. Like I've heard it was decent. I've heard it had problems, but mostly I watched the Scott the Woz Toys to Life video from this past week, but in general, like, yeah, I don't know. At that point, I was just rolling my eyes at the concept of stuff. I had a few of the minifigs that were from Dimension, but never had the game. Nintendo observed all the companies failing. They did what should have been done by making Toys to Life an optional accessory instead of forcing it to play a game. I mean, I think like a game that like is built like Skylanders can work and be successful. Obviously, it was. I think the problem is when everything becomes like that, and also when you're on like your fourth installment in 4 years. I think honestly one of the biggest problems with Skylanders, again, going off the Scott the Woz video and that being my experience, they kept releasing new base games that required you buying an expensive base. Like you had to buy the starter base kit for the new game. When honestly, like one of the best things they could have done, in my opinion, for the longevity of people's interest in it, not necessarily for like the money. They probably made so much money off of like every game requiring a new base and like having a ton new accessories to collect. But if you just release, like, if you had a game that was like the base main story that just like the characters kind of joined in on, right? Like how I believe the original Skylanders, how the Skylanders formula worked at first. Whereas, like, the game is the game, and you have different characters of different types and stuff, and, like, you can add them in, and they do special things in the game in comparison to other characters, from my understanding. Just make another disc that is in that generation of Skylanders. Like, I know there's backwards compatibility in terms of, like, all the, like, Gen 1s worked on Gen 2, and all those worked on Gen 3, and all those worked on Gen 4. I know that was a thing, but, like, if you honestly just, like, made a game that didn't require a new base, and it was like, here's this, here's the second set of these figures, they work across both games, that would have been, like, peak for them. Like, if you made it where, like, the physical hardware was a foundation for multiple games, I think that would have been much bigger than... It would have kept the facade up a little bit longer. I think the fact that, like, in the course of, like, 5 years, we had 4 Skylanders games, and they all had 4 different bases. Like, even when you were on the same console, if you had, like, all 4 Skylanders, you had 4 different NFC bases to put these characters on. I think that was part of the problem. Is people like, why do I have so many of these things? Like, if there was a Skylanders base and it worked with all of the games, that would have been a whole different story, I think. Found your channel by searching up Shiny PIPLUP on YouTube. Hey, I'm glad you found it. Is this the ranting session? I believe it is, Luigi. I believe it is. But I think we're kind of just having a conversation about this, and I don't think it's a rant in the same way I've had some rants, but I think it's good conversation. I think it's good chat topics. But yeah, I think Nintendo definitely did it well, with, like, amiibos being optional to the game, for sure, Jake. I think that was definitely one of the big things, is, like, the, like, non-successful amiibo games were the games that required amiibos, but, like, you know, obviously, because I think they kind of came at it with the idea of, like, the amiibos are collectible toys. That's what they are, right? Like, you can get the whole set, and you can display them on shelves, and that's what you can kind of do with them. That's almost the point, right? Like, was, like, to be collectible. And, like, that's all they had to do. They didn't have to do anything else with them. But it was basically, it was a toy with the benefit of having an effect on a game. Like, it wasn't necessary for the game. And 90% of an amiibo's life was going to be spent on the shelf anyway. So, like, it's not... It was basically, like, when we envisioned Smash initially, it was these characters coming to life and fighting. Here's amiibo figures, basically the kind of, like, toys we were imagining, like, a kid imagining and playing with, right? Like, that's what it was. Remember playing a Toys to Life game as a kid, you're fascinated at how it worked, and then you got older, like, not gonna buy expensive base plus a game. Yeah. I feel like for you, the first 2 Skylanders games were both cheap. The third game, you had to buy extra Skylanders than what you started off with for special abilities and stuff, yeah. The first game, you bought one of each element. That's what you needed to 100% the game. Then all those worked with the second game. The second game came with a giant, yeah. The third game where you had to buy 2 Skylanders of each ability, and that got too much for you. Yeah, I think that's fair, and I think that's kind of part of what, like, ruined it for people, was, like, you constantly had to buy new stuff to experience the new game. When it's like, I feel like if they just had, like, 2... If they made, like, a second Skylanders game before they added the giants in, right? Where it was just, like, it's the same base. It's a game. You can buy the game separately. Which I guess... As someone knowledgeable of games, like, it wouldn't be a problem for me, but I could definitely, saying it out loud, I can see that being a problem. At, like, a Christmas or something, a grandmother gets, like, their kid the Skylanders game, they've heard all this stuff about it, the kid wanted Skylanders, and they bought, like, the disc version of the game, and not the one that had, like, all the kit. And it's like, oh, well, I can't play it, because... it needs this other thing. I can see that kind of being an issue, and that's why, like, every, like, base game came with a base, but, like, I just feel like if you had, like, a second game that used the same hardware, so people could buy just the game disc, and, like, buy new figures without having to buy a new base station. I think that would have been a big change. I remember being interested in Skylanders many years ago. I feel like that was when everyone was interested in it. Disney Infinity didn't make you buy a base, every new version everybody made. You could use the one you got. They made a thing with the base, without, and that was better than what Skylanders did. Yeah, but from my understanding, Disney Infinity almost felt like more hollow in certain ways. Gamepad had the Toys to Life functionality before all the Toys to Life games came out, and I think Nintendo sat back and observed what to do and what not to do and how to do it. That's honestly kind of fair. Like, the Wii U existed with that gamepad for a long time, with the NFC built into it. I wonder what their thoughts were with that. Like, did they plan on doing amiibos, or like... I feel like if they had planned on doing amiibos, the little NFC pad would have had a different logo on it. Like, it wouldn't have just been, like, the generic little, like, rectangular thing, right? Never was interested in Skylanders. Tried playing it at one of your friend's house and just kind of, eh. Fair. Do amiibos do anything? Depends on the game. It varies game to game. Some games have no functionality. A few games relied on them. But like the games that relied on were like Animal Crossing's Mario Party equivalent. It was like their amiibo party game, and you had to have amiibos to like do stuff on the board. It was weird and clunky. But most games, it's like you scan the amiibo and like you unlock, like in Mario Maker, it's like you scan the amiibo and you would unlock like amiibo skins that you could use in the game, like power-ups. I think like Yoshi's Woolly World, like you unlock different, like again, different customizations for characters with them. Smash Bros, honestly, Smash 4 was the biggest one. You could scan your amiibo in, and the amiibo would become a fighter in the game, like an NPC in the game that would that you could train, and it would learn from how you played and all this stuff. And then you had an amiibo that had like a customized, like there was its own fighting style, basically. Like you could train it, and the better you got, the better your amiibo could get, and all this kind of stuff. And then like you could take your amiibo to another person's Switch, put it on, and then like your amiibo would be one of the characters that played against you. So like I feel like despite that being fairly like clunky and the fact that you had to like carry a figurine around with you to like use the functionality, that was probably one of the better uses of it. Smash lets you do characters from your amiibos, so you get items in certain games with amiibos. Breath of the Wild had an amiibo that would spawn in like a food or a Epona. And like the one that I'm thinking of that I always think of the most is Mario Odyssey, just because like that's the one thing that I have an amiibo for. When you scanned in the amiibo, like it would give you coins and stuff. It's like the biggest thing. Guardian amiibo gave you the Guardian armor. Nice. It was just kind of eh. Yeah, I mean, like, my big thing was, again, I didn't get to try it, right? Because if I tried it, my sister would freak out. But yeah, from my understanding, it was like, oh, you have to, like, I think my first impression of the game was we had, like, a character on the base that wasn't the right character for a certain thing. And it was like, oh, you have to have a character of this ability. And I didn't realize, like, we had a character of that ability or something. I was like, oh, we literally can't go anywhere else in the game until we like buy another character. That sounds dumb. I think my whole family kind of had that same thought. Maybe a misunderstanding, but the same thought. Went, eh. Gives you coins and hearts, right? Yeah. Yeah, Odyssey doesn't give a whole lot. Like, the most modern games, most Switch games, I don't think really utilize amiibos too terribly much anymore. That was really more of a 3DS and a Wii U thing. Like, they definitely still exist, they definitely still make them, but I feel like it's definitely way more just like, here's a little bit of a boost to be like, woohoo, this is why you bought this character kind of thing. Skylanders are just kind of boring. If you didn't have a character that could continue on, you had to buy that one that would work, yeah. Hey, Anthony, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Soon! Yes, hopefully soon. Hopefully very soon. Yo, Tia Gar Nats, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Good luck. You're also trying to get PIPLUP around 2,000 encounters. Nice. Best of luck to you. both about as far into this. Seen anything? Nothing shiny yet. Nothing shiny yet. Glad you didn't get into Skylanders. On the other hand, you had a bunch of Disney Infinity figures on your shelf. I mean, if you enjoyed them, I don't think there's really any problem with them. I think it's just like they had their time, and I think they burn too fast, right? Like if companies had like taken their time with it, I think been a little bit more meticulous in what they released and when, I think we could probably still see Toys to Life existing in some form beyond like amiibos just being able to like make a game go boop for a second, right? Like I think like if Skylanders or Disney Infinity had done a bit more slow of a burn, or had, I think Disney, from my understanding, Disney Infinity 1.0, like the original Disney Infinity, was fairly solid. It was the sequential like 2.0 and 3.0s that were like incompatible back and forth in weird ways, but ended up really just kind of being like weird promotional things for other franchises of Disney. Like that kind of gets funky, that gets weird, and it's like, this is why this kind of thing failed, you know? Like Starly, yeah, no, we haven't seen a shiny Starly. Those games, in your opinion, have such a large barrier to entry. Yeah, and like that's definitely kind of the thing. I think like most of them, like I think, played decently well, even with just the base starter kit. But yeah, like obviously the point of the game was to buy more figures and have more game to play, but it didn't always work out that way. Whereas like the idea is like, you know, you play like a certain game, or like you play the base game, and then like in an ideal world you pay like $30, you get a figure, and you get like another like solid game. Like you get another like solid game's worth of content for $30, you know. It's a pretty good deal. You're not buying the whole game again, you're unlocking content in the game, but like you should be unlocking like $30 worth of content. It shouldn't be like $30 for a figure and a disc that gives you like the equivalent of a $5 WiiWare game. You know, like it should give you substantial content, but that's not necessarily what it did all the time. Yeah, buy expensive toys to make it better. Yeah. And like the thing is, like, again, if you slow burn on that, that's fine. Like if you show that you're gonna support, like, I think a lot of it, and again, why I come back to the idea of if you made a second game that used all of the same equipment, all of the equipment was interchangeable, and it was just the software of the game that was different, I think you would have had a lot more people buy into it, because then you buy a figure that works in two games. In either direction. It works in the newer game and the older game, and it works in the older game and the newer game. Like, if you could comfort people and confirm that like their investment in buying like these figures was going to be valid and like a useful thing, assuming you enjoy the games, it'll be a useful and enjoyable thing going forward. Like, I think you can convince more people to get into it. But I think Disney Infinity was probably the worst about it, where like the games, despite just being like a new version, were completely disjointed outside of the playbox. Disney Infinity in Europe, it was optional to buy a character. It didn't basically make you like Skylanders did. I mean, Skylanders, you could beat the game with what was in the base kit. From my understanding. If anything, I feel like if Skylanders went for the WoW or World of Warcraft or Destiny approach, they would have been more successful. Just like a long-term service game. Maybe, I don't know. That's not kind of what they were aiming for there. They're aiming for a kids game, and a kids game needs to be like beatable, not online. A kids game can't have like a long drawn out end game kind of deal. It has to be like a pretty succinct, it finishes when it finishes. When a kid sees the congratulations, game over, roll credits thing, like that's the end of their playing of the game. So like you have to make a game that's enjoyable and satisfying in that realm. Also, short notice, but this is the last encounter for the night. I am dead tired. I am dead tired, so we're going to end on 21-12 here, guys. Thank you for watching the stream. Thank everyone who liked, anyone who subscribed. I appreciate it. I'll be back on Thursday with more streaming. I'm not sure if I'll be doing PIPLUP or if I'll be trying to do some Poker Radar or something. I want to find a shiny, and I feel like Poker Radar is the best chance for that. So, oh yeah, they tried to do it with Starlink. Yeah. But yeah, guys, we're gonna wrap up here. I had fun. Apologies for ending the stream a bit early. I am, like I said, tired. I will catch up on my sleep. And yeah, thank you guys again for hanging out, chatting, and everything. Always have fun talking with you. I'll see you all on Thursday. Until then, take care. Peace.